fantastic. Was it not fantastic?
So I have a little. I have a fun story for us. Really.
Okay.
So I started a band called Rooney when I was in high school, and it was loving bands like the Zombies that really got me into music. But we played The Late Show when you were at The Late Show, and we played. And I remember Paul was watching Rooney play a song called "I'm Shaken," and it was really scary to be on a show that I grew up watching. And you were standing there watching me play. It was scary because the whole band is watching you play, right? And you
really closely.
Right there, yeah. And
Really
it's freezing in there, and you have one shot to get it right. And also with such great musicians standing watching you, you want to do a good job. So anyway, I remember it. I know you don't.
I watched a little of it this afternoon. It was terrific.
Anyway, so
that one note you played, though.
There was one.
Well, I'll talk to you about it later.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, I was fortunate enough to get to see an early cut of this, and it was some time ago, maybe even a year ago.
Yeah.
And I don't remember any of this in it. What? My goodness! I mean, it's an interesting look into how you make a movie, but my goodness! First of all, how long have you been working on it?
Well, we started, if you really go back, during the COVID shutdown, everyone's figuring out what you're going to do. Music was shut down. Movies were shut, everything was. But I caught up with a friend of mine named Rick Krim, who we all know, some of you, he's a great been in the music business a long time. Rick's like the angel, I call him like a guardian angel for bands, because he really gets behind things and really is genuinely just a big supporter of music. But we would see the Zombies together. And I said to him, we were talking about making music documentaries, coming from music in a band into filmmaking. I said, I really want to make a music doc, and I'd love to make it. I was like, what ship sailed was the Zombies documentary. And this was like at the end of 2021. And he said, I'm working with the band, and you should meet them because they're sort of stopping and starting and figuring out how to make this movie. And you should, Zoom with them and let them know how you feel. I met Cindy and Chris, the Rocks management, who are here in the back. Hey guys, big champions of keeping the Zombies train rolling. So they liked the meeting enough to set up an Argent and Blundstone Zoom, which was really intimidating because I love those guys so much. It was intense to Zoom with those guys. I mean, obviously, I would see them play. So when you see the band play, they're so nice. On stage, they're pleasant guys. So I thought they would be easy to talk to, but they're heroes. So I'm pitching this idea to make a movie and trying to put it all out there, and they were receptive. So yeah, at the end of 21, we decided we were going to make the movie, and then they were touring a lot, which is cool when a band stays on the road. And it's all, the story is that they kept going, and they never quit. And there's something really magical and inspiring about that. But they were finishing a tour, and they finished in New York, and I met with them in New York to do the first day of filming. We got a stage in Brooklyn, Red Hook, Brooklyn. We tried our best to recreate the She's Not There Hullabaloo set, which is where a lot of those interviews take place. If you go back and watch the doc and compare it to the Hullabaloo performance, you'll see elements of production design brought into those interviews. But, we started as one question was asked, and I'm talking for 20 minutes, but
that's what you want, though. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Well, this is the last part of it. We started filming in May of 2022. And then it was really a little, like a year later, we got the call that South by Southwest wanted to screen the film of where we were at with the cut, which was quick. That's about a little over a year turnaround, which is not long. But South by gave us the chance to go back and really challenge it and watch it and make changes, but we cut about 20 minutes out of the South by cut. You saw an early cut that was still a work in progress, not mixed, not color graded. And but we just kept it, so it's about over 3 years to make this movie.
How much more shooting did you do after you sent out that rough cut and people saw it? You got some feedback. To me, it looks like a totally different movie.
No, I'm so happy to hear that. You were like, that other movie was terrible. Thank God he worked on it. No, a work. I mean, a movie. You can make a simple tweak and suddenly it plays differently. So, but yeah, there were a lot of versions of it. But what the biggest change was cutting some time out, tightening the first act so it flowed. It was a faster getting into the story of their history. People feel like the film moves really well in the opening, getting through the history. And it's tough with 60 plus years of a band's career to cover that in about 90 minutes. So you have to, and I love history. I love covering history. I don't want to get right. I want to find my way into the story as far as how they got together. Because as a band, you relate to how bands start. You know, I find it interesting. But you don't want to get hung up there because there's so much movie to get into. So you have to get through that section. So we tightened up the first act. 18 minutes were removed from the film, which is a lot. I mean, you'll cut all day and night for weeks, and then you realize you go back and say, how much did I cut out? It was like a minute and 20 seconds.
Right.
So, and you're like, how am I going to get this down from whatever, we were at to 96 minutes or whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, editing a movie is like people say going from music making into filmmaking, what are the similarities? I'd say editing is the most similar to making albums because you're staring at a computer. You're playing with flow, rhythm, timing. You can try this, try that, see how it hits you as an audience member. It's like making a record. So shooting, we didn't go back and shoot. I'm trying to think if we went back and actually got anything else. Oh yeah, we did. Rooney got to open for the Zombies on tour, and I shot some of the movie on tour with them, which is strange to be making a movie about a band that inspired you to make music in the first place, opening for them while shooting a film. Which is, totally bizarre. But, there was just footage that kind of came in that we discovered along the way that helped fill in the pieces.
It's fantastic. I noticed in the credits that you added some original scoring.
Yeah,
to
that's
it.
right, yeah.
Well, I didn't notice it, which I guess is good. That's what you want. You don't want the scoring to stick out.
Yeah.
But how could you add your own music to the Zombies' music when it's all about them? Can you tell us where your music appeared?
Yeah, I mean, with a film, typically, if the film wants it, usually use original music and score to help lift sequences or add to the emotional feeling in the film. And you're right, you don't want that original music to stand out to where it distracts you. You want it to fit in and almost like you walk in a room and the color on the walls and the wallpaper just work great with the couch and, you don't want to notice things. So, but, this movie, when you're working with a band like the Zombies, their music is so good and and everything, I feel like everything they put out is really awesome. Like, I listen to everything and I love all of it. And I just felt like if we fill this with Zombies music, it's going to be satisfying for music fans because it's just such good music, right? So you're filling the film with this great music. But you do have to create some push and pull against these needle drops or song placements to create a different feeling within the Zombies music. To have a rock and roll score would conflict with the sound of the band. You want something that's different. So we used a lot of ambient music that was just kind of, it's not really, it's felt more than it's heard kind of music.
Yeah.
And so, that was the original stuff I was able to work on with a composer and collaborate on. So.
Well, I was around when the Zombies came out, and I bought the 45 and slowed it down to 33 and learned that Rod Argent solo, note for note. I can play it even today. And it's quite a little piece of work in itself.
Yeah.
But what was it? I mean, so and they were such a lifesaver for me during the British invasion because it was all about guitars, Beatles guitars and the Stones. I joined my first band and they said we're going to learn every song off the Stones 12x5 album. Well, the piano is so far. I mean, there's no keyboard in this. But when the Zombies came along, I had something to play. That's how much they meant to me. What was it about their music that caused you to spend all these 5 years on their story?
I don't know. It's a good. I really. Sometimes I'm talking about this movie. We're asked, what was the inspiration? That would be the way into this conversation. How did you get into the Zombies? But for me, it's, and a lot of people in the room here listen to the Zombies and love the band. And the Zombies have a lot of there are a lot of champions out there that really love this band. It's the underdog story. But I mean, obviously, undeniably, Odyssey and Oracle is one of the obviously best albums ever made, so it's hard to deny that. But for me, I grew up in a house with a lot of classical music playing, and a background of composers and musicians who were all classically trained musicians. And so I'm listening to that, and then I'm listening to rock and roll music and pop music, and I have older siblings, so you're listening to whatever they're listening to. But my ear goes to just good songwriting, melodic songs I gravitate towards. It's usually the melody that I'm more sucked in by than lyrics are always, I don't know, there are songs I love that I don't even, I couldn't sing them for you lyrically, I just know them melodically. But classical music, rock and roll music combined, I think is really exciting. That was also, a lot of those British bands were inspired by early American pop writers, which I love. The Brill Building movement of songwriters I love so much. So they were listening to the bands that I also fell in love with pre-Zombies, and then writing music that was their own interpretation of what pop was, and they had their own style. But, getting to make this film and getting closer to the guys, meeting Hugh Grundy, Chris White, there's so, Paul Atkinson's family was involved and helpful to the film, and his daughter was there in London. Randomly, we were at Abbey Road, which was intended, but then she was living there, and she showed up. Really, we emailed her, and she came that day. So we were really, something was looking after us, as we went. But there's just something about those guys. It's what a great band is. It's all of them together. For a marching drummer, he's not even playing with his feet. He's playing with his hands, right? But to put it all together and have a certain drum feel added with Argent's playing and Colin's voice, it just all works. And Paul's style of guitar playing, there's something magical about it. But we could sit here and analyze the Zombies music for a long time, but there's just something different about the Zombies. I mean, I listen to a lot of British invasion bands, and there's just something about those guys specifically that really stands out musically. Obviously, the voice really pulls you in, for any band. And then it's the writing, and as for you, it was the musicianship and the keyboard playing. But Colin really is, something about him is very seductive as a singer. He can sing soft, he can put edge behind it. I don't even know where he places his voice in his head. We toured together, and I heard him sing next to me every day. And I was like, May just turned 80, and he was ripping in the same key as those songs, singing the high harmonies as the lead. It was like, what the heck is going on here? But yeah, they're just incredible, and they're just good guys. And the story, I should have said at the beginning, but for me, the film, when you're making any movie, it's about what's the story. This isn't just connect point A to point B as a music. This is what's behind what's going on with these people, these humans, on an emotional level that I really care about in documentaries. And I felt this is really sort of a friendship and hope, really, at the heart of it. It's more than just a music film. So that's something that gets me very excited watching the film.
You did the Zombies justice. You did a great job, didn't you?
Yeah.
Before we go, any questions for the auteur? Yes, sir.
How you doing, man? Congratulations, fantastic job. I'm just, when I see great documentaries like this, I'm always blown away by the footage and the photos that you've been able to come up with. Was that really tedious getting all that, or did people really contribute and make that a little bit easier?
Yeah, the question's about getting this footage, and that's come up. Colin was with me at some of these Q&As, and it's really great to have him here. So he's here. He's right here. I will say, the Zombies aren't playing right now as the Zombies, but I know they were going in the studio. Colin was going back home to be abroad to make a new album. So there's just something so cool about that, right? I mean, these guys I'm not answering your question, I will answer it. But these guys run on music, right? Like, that's what keeps them, music is truly, for those of you that play music, it really keeps you fresh and keeps you focused, and it's like the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
But they're going in to make a record, so you can still make, obviously, the Beatles famously stopped touring and made albums. Harry Nilsson didn't play live, made great albums. But this band didn't have a lot of archival. And it was really hard to make a doc without a lot of. We didn't open a box, and it was like we stumbled into gold. And we were like, we got a movie. We had to look everywhere to find anything we could find. And we had to create the illusion that you were there every step of the way, and fill in pieces of the story that we heard with their film. So, but we found we had a couple. We got lucky a few times. It was really with Chris White was a huge came through with some amazing footage like that with the guys playing at a youth club when they were young. That was a great thing to find that. And then family photos. I went to England. I hung out with the guys. I got to go through their photo books and scan whatever I could find. And so yeah, I mean every little piece counts. And there's stuff you can't even. It's hard to make a doc because you could find something that works so well, and then you can't find out you don't know who took the photo, and then you have to take it out of the movie. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of, that's the joy and the struggle of making an unscripted film is how you use these pieces. But you do the best you can, and luckily these are very, charismatic guys, so those interviews really help carry us, and getting them at Abbey Road, Studio 3, first time they were together in that live room where they made Odyssey and Oracle was incredible. The feeling between them. And then for me as a Zombies fan to get the original masters to Odyssey and Oracle and to play it at Abbey Road and sit there alone and listen to every track was really special.
That was great too. Did Colin ever give you any sort of a raison for the fact that those records he sang are very softly and spooky? Is it time? Now he's full voice, like an opera singer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy at any age. But what happened? Do you have any insight into that?
I don't. I really love singers as far as like the technique of singers, listening to people sing and trying to understand their voice. Because I sing lead in my group, so I'm very specific about how you sing and how you use your voice on record versus live. I mean, I think for anyone here who plays music, the live show and the album recording are different ways you use your body and physically, and they're not the same. You can't just take the vocal in a studio and sing that way on stage. If you play every night, you're toast. You'll blow your voice out. So I think because I listen to Colin's voice, I listened to him really closely. I think it was also just, for him, he wasn't a professional touring singer in the early days of the recording. He obviously started touring, and when they made Time of the Season, that was after starting to do live shows. But I think that he found a technique that helped preserve his voice on the road, as far as that helps.
Absolutely makes sense.
So he sings like a vocal coach trains you to sing live to preserve your range, and it worked because he sings that way still. It's just a different character that he's able to do.
Yeah.
On record, you can find a different character that he's doing. But I think that's just the answer to it.
Mm-hmm. There you have it. Any other questions?
In the back.
Will there be any blooper footage?
Yeah, it's a good question. No, because I love bloopers are the best. The bloopers we do have stuff, but the thumb war moment was like a blooper moment for us. Because I was trying to find conflict in the guys if I could. I was trying to look for conflict because I just know bands having conflict, so I know it's hard to keep the peace in groups, and it's rare to be doing it this long and also enjoy have a good time together. It's really rare, and also it's kind of be careful what you wish for kind of thing, because also bands that came from that era and had big success sometimes didn't always come out the other side wanting to have that friendship. So you lose something along. You make these sacrifices, I think, with success. And I think they found their version of success was their friendship. That was I asked everyone, would you change anything? And everyone said no, genuinely. There was nothing they weren't carrying anything that was like this feeling in them that was just like crying out. It was just a real peace with their career and their lives and all these. So it was really nice thing to be a part of that.
It strikes me that so often when the bands break up, it's over money, it's over the finance. These guys never made any money. Maybe that has something to do.
Yeah, and I think it's they got into it for the right reason. I think it was about the music. So I think they just want to be making music all the time. I think that says something. Maybe different artists go to music for different reasons. Yeah, it was about the love of getting back and getting in the studio right away. But for me, they've never done a Thumbmore. So I thought, I wanted to interview them individually to get their stories out. They were in separate rooms. And then I put them together to try to see if I could create a dynamic with them. Talking about the band breaking up, there was a moment where Rod looks at Colin. It's in the film. And I see it in his eyes, this feeling of, it's still with him. Of this, and for sure, and for Colin always says, I wonder what we've done next. I said, I know what you did next. You made 1 year with Chris and Rod. I mean, you made the next Zombies record, sort of. And those guys went and did Argent. So if you put it all together, you have all these songs kind of feel like the next Zombies record. Yeah. But you feel, it's still with them. But I think even, it's come up in the screenings, but what these guys went through, life works in mysterious ways, so something that occurs at one point follows you and finds another way to maybe help something along the way. But for Paul Atkinson to be put through this experience and then become an A&R guy and sign ABBA and get back with Brian Wilson and take care of his cat, he was such a champion for so many bands. And he was apparently such a good guy, and like one of the good ones in the label world. But had he not had these experiences, would he have been that same guy? Would we have these artists who were taken care of and given a shot? Had these guys not had that? So there's a lot of interesting threads to look at here.
Well, can we thank this gentleman, Robert, one more time?
Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, thanks for staying with us.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful meeting. Congratulations. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I worked with Paul Atkinson.
Oh, yeah?
Because Patti Smith signed Scandal, and I was in the band for a minute, and in fact played the solo in Goodbye to You, played the keyboard solo.
Really? Oh, wow.
Argent,
Really?
a little bit Argent. Yeah, and Paul Atkinson, lovely. Just a lovely man. Just like you were saying, intelligent and very much for the artist and encouraging. Anyway,
I'm just going to cross the aisle.
Thank you for being. I really appreciate it.
it's fun seeing you on TV this afternoon.
Oh, okay. Terrific. It's terrific. That's awesome. Yeah, awesome. I'm so thank you for being a part of this.
Beyond impressive. I'm
Yeah.
again. I think that's fantastic. Something beautiful.
I have to do a selfie with you.
Oh, okay. All right.
For my social
I love it.
Because that's the world we live in today.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
All right, it was wonderful.
Thanks, Bob.
All right.
Thank
Hope
you.
to see you again.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye.
Keep safe, everybody. Take
Bye.
care. Hey.
Thank you so much. I know, right?
Amazing job, man. Congratulations.
It's really incredible.
I want to special Melanie Rogers. Hi.
How did it feel on the music video?
It sounded great.
It did, okay.
Yeah, it sounded really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a different vibe. Good to see you, yes. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for good to see you.
We used to live in Old.
I'm just a couple stops up. I'm right near Westport.
Yeah, do a thing.
Get back. One day.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
That was great.
Maybe it's just so you can sign.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted a picture of the two?
All you guys.
Oh, all of us. Okay.
All the DJs.
Let's take it.
Well, I'm not a DJ.
Right. No, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
We're here to take it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna get some shots of you guys. Yeah, well, yeah, let's do it.
I'm around all
I'm gonna
day.
try.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
All right.
Sorry.
You want to get in there, and then I'll take the photo, and then I'll get in there?
Well, how about we do a guy thing first and then...
Well, this is just
we'll
the
do-
it's cousins and Paul.
This is cousins.
Spiritual cousin.
You guys, but it was Robert. I'm blown away.
It's great.
It brought me to tears. I'll jump in super quick, okay? I'll be the short person right here, right here. Is that okay?
You don't have to be any short. I love a tall. I'm not intimidated. It's better this way.
Okay, I'm standing up.
It's always been that way.
1, 2, 3. Hold on, this way.
This is for TikTok.
1, 2, 3. All right, now.
Jump in.
My phone.
I got it. I'll send it to you.
Here.
Here's got one here.
Go.
Here we go.
We'll put this on the website
Cousins
too.
and DJs.
Yeah.
Robert, I got to tell you, that was beautiful, like beyond words. But mark it up.
Elizabeth, sideways,
Yeah, I was
sideways.
trying.
Oh, we need landscape.
We need landscape.
Gotta get landscape.
Okay,
I gotta have shots we own for the
right,
podcast.
So amazing. Thank you.
All right.
Very, very moving.
All right. Good night. Once again, congratulations. Terrific.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
We got straight.
Yes,
He's on this coast. So.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, let's go in the lobby.
Did anyone cry besides Mark and I? Cry besides Mark and I?
Wait, what?
Mark and I.
You were sobbing?
Well,
You're
not
welling up?
sobbing. Welling up.
Welling up? Well, talking about Paul Atkinson.
Yeah.
I interviewed with Paul Atkinson for an A&R job.
Oh my God. And Jonathan, just also like Colin, what a beautiful soul. What a gentle, beautiful soul.
So, yeah, totally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
213.
Where's my bag?
That's my stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's what we're getting now.
Yeah. 213.
793. 9292.
And I'll give you an alternate number just so you have it. It's at 917 710.